Melanie reached out to me, I would say probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, and she was like, what does your team need? And I said, sometimes I think we overthink this business. We just really tend to get ourselves distracted by everything else that everybody else is doing, or we're on social media and we do the scroll thing and we think, well, I have to be doing that, or she did that so much better than me. And you can get yourself caught up. And so I said to her, one of the things that I've really learned how to do is just take it back to basics. And so I think of it as you just never leave square one. You always stay rooted in the basics, no matter where you are in the business. So I've been doing this for close to 5 years. I still invite, I still run challenge groups. I still run free groups to find more people. I still build my social media network. As much as I diversify, and even though I'm kind of like excited about new business ventures I have with Every Sweat Matters, I still really stay focused on keeping this business as simple as possible. So this week we're talking about challenge groups, we're talking about events. So yesterday, Melanie posted 2 things. She posted a video of her like running through Canva, and she talks about how she creates an event banner. She talks about the size of the event banner. She talks about appealing colors. She talks about how to actually create the event so that you have more opportunity to reach more people through that event. The other thing that she talked about was this idea of creating, and I have one on the back of here, the map of what you're talking about for any given month, and just going through and sort of saying, all right, what is my group and how am I going to invite to that said group? And then today I took it a step further and I thought to myself, and I did this a while ago with my team and I shared the video today, but I thought to myself, like, okay, let's take this whole like map, and if you don't know what video I'm talking about, go back to yesterday in the group. You're going to want to watch that. And so I said to myself, all right, so now I have all of this content. Let me tell myself when I'm actually going to like market it, when I'm actually going to talk about it, when I'm actually going to be posting about those things. So today, when I thought about what this call was, I just thought, all right, so we have 3 great videos that really simplify it. But it's almost like repeat and redo, repeat, redo, repeat, repeat, repeat. So that's sort of my purpose. But I'm going to tell you that I was an English teacher for a long time. And I'm going to take you guys back to high school today. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but did anyone ever have to do an outline using the MLA format? Raise your hand. You guys know what it is? You have a thesis statement, and then you have your 1, your 2, your 3, and then you have to prove it, right? As Beachbody coaches, your thesis statement is basically the challenge group that you're offering. And all of your bullet points are why people need to join your challenge group. So you know how you had to have your note cards, and back then we had like that rolling index and all that kind of fun stuff. Maybe I'm probably a lot older than some of you guys in here. But you had that rolling index and you had to go through and you had to have your topic on the top and then you had to prove it. So that's our job. We're going to become provers of what we have to offer. So we're not going to just slap an event up there. We're not going to just slap a challenge group up there and say, why won't the people come to me? Why are they not liking my stuff? Why are they not seeing that this can be their jam too? I love my Beachbody, but nobody is coming to me. And that is because we maybe haven't proven ourselves. So just like when you were in English class, you need to prove your statement. Back that thing up with evidence to prove what you've got going on. All right? So I'm going to screen share this real quick. And I am just going to show you, and no, this is not like a parallel statement. I didn't get that technical, but if you want me to, I probably can mess around with it. All right, so if you guys just came on, oh, this is funny. I don't know if you guys can see that, but my colleague who still works with me, she shared that picture with me. That's me. I was going to an 80s party, so I'm just going to get rid of that because that's a little embarrassing. All right. So we ready to talk about this? First, I'm going to mute again because I feel like I'm just going to do that. Okay. All right. I think we're good. Okay, so I created this really, really quick for you. And I am going to take this and we're going to focus right here. And I'm going to make that like 24. So, all right. So first we're going to come up with a thesis statement. You guys, you have something to offer, right? You have a challenge group that you can offer people. Why should people come to your challenge group? Why should people come to your challenge group when they can go to a gym, when they can go to the person that lives down the street who's also a Beachbody coach? What is it about you that's not just going to say, I'm unique and I'm different, but I really know what I'm talking about. I really know what I have to offer. So I came up with this simple statement, but this is something that I want you to think about why people should be in your challenge group. What do you have to offer? You should be a challenger in my challenge group because number one, you're going to be accountable to your own goals. Number two, as a coach, I provide daily tips, recipes, and motivation. And number three, because I've got the tools to help you achieve amazing results. 3 reasons why you should. But guess what, guys? That's a lot of posts that I can create from those 3 areas. So then I break it down even further. And in my head, I say, okay, Katie, you're talking about accountability, right? So what can I talk to people about accountability? What are some things that I can say to people that proves that I can help them stay on track, that they can be accountable? Number one, that the daily check-ins with Challenge Tracker app. They get a free app. Is that a perk? Yeah, you get a free downloadable app that's going to help you track your progress. Totally worth posting about. You're going to receive reminders via your smartphone to make sure that you're on track. Hello, another awesome post to talk about with accountability. You can easily track your own progress. When you're in that challenge tracker app, you put before pictures. You can put during pictures. You put after pictures. You track your measurements from the beginning to the end. All things that you are providing for free to your customers. 3 different posts that you could even talk about. So how do you talk about it? Well, you could give a testimonial of a current challenger. You could screenshot what that looks like on your portal. You could talk about how somebody totally rocked their before and afters. You could do a number of different things about how, man, my phone went off this morning. It totally forgot to remind me that I didn't get my workout tracked. I know that that matters to other people, so I'm going to go back and do it. All things that you can post about. Number 2, this is your coaching. So this is back to that thesis statement number 2 that we said. Number 1, as a coach, this is what I can do for you. I can help you select the program that works for you or your goals. I don't know, maybe you can talk in a post about people who have commitment issues. And you can talk about how if they do the all access, it's okay if you don't get the winning workout from the beginning, because I am giving you an entire catalog, one that I spent about $6,000 on. So you're getting a really good deal, and I feel like I got chipped off. Number 2, I provide meal plans. I take the guesswork out of it. Guys, I'm going to give you my 21-day fix things, but here's the other cool thing. When you have all access, you can then access all of the nutritional guides of every workout ever done. So if someone says, I can't do the containers, go to the PIO, go to Body Beast, go to other nutritional guides that they are going to get with the programs as well. You are talking about all of this, and then et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This is the things that make you unique, you different, things that make you pop as a coach. So it could be that within your groups, you talk about tracking your water and you make fun games out of it. Maybe you guys do silly little workout pictures, or you do challenges that make you different. Those are all opportunities for you to be posting about it. And then number 3, this is kind of the bread and butter of it all. Look, you're a great coach. And if you listened to the Surge last night, I talked about how I am not a nutritionist. I am not a fitness expert. And I am not somebody who really knows much about nutrition because I really like cake. But here's the deal. I am a coach who's got really great tools, like top of the line, can't be beat tools. So I'm not trying to compete against that, but I'm also going to be honest with people and say, I don't know how to help you without my tool belt. My tool belt is really where it's at. And so I am going to talk about what that tool belt includes. And man alive, do you have a catalog of potential coaches or posts that you can talk about. You can talk about removing the guesswork. You don't have to go on the elliptical and pray that something's going to happen. You know, you're going to work off that booty, those donuts that you ate. You don't have to do that. You don't have to take the guesswork out. You can take the guesswork out because you have an entire workout calendar for you as well. You can talk about how the trainers do the dirty work. They have figured out exactly why you do a certain workout on any given day. You can talk about some of the workouts being 22 minutes because you're busy. You get it. You can talk about the catalog that they get, the nutritional support that they get. And that is because of your tool belt. That is your tool belt that you have to offer someone. And then the last one, and I hope you guys go back to the Surge call because I did talk about this at great length. Your Shakeology story matters, and doesn't just matter before the sale, but it matters, you know, when they're in the process of their challenge group, while they're understanding Shakeology, and then even afterwards that they're getting the full term benefit of what Shakeology does. So my big thing is when I talk about Shakeology just in passing in conversation, I talk about how it fills my nutritional gaps because nobody eats 100% perfect all the time. We all make errors. And Shakeology helps me fill those gaps that are making me sort of maybe lose sight of my goals, that are really making me struggle with my sugar cravings. I know that Shakeology's got my back. I know that that's the one meal a day I don't need to think about. But you have to have your story with it. So all of these things, right, are going to be the things that you can post about. So I'm going to real quick, I'm going to stop this because I want to see my chat bar. Okay. Are you going to share the doc afterwards? Yeah, I can put it right in the group. Sorry, I'm late. Just finished sweating. Brittany, I'm glad that you joined us today. I love you, friend. All right. Okay. So let's talk about events. So events on Facebook, and I'm just going to go to my page real quick. I run my business through my like page. But here's the deal. You can run it through your like page. You can run it through your personal page. You can run it on Instagram, whatever it might be, wherever you feel best. But no matter what you do, when you create an event, it has to be public. So right now, I create an average of, probably 3 events a month. One event is always a coach sneak peek. One event is an informational, tutorial of what a challenge group is, and one event is for a free group that I run every month. My free group is, to me, just as important as a challenge group because it is a way for me to form people by letting them see and understand the value of me as a coach. So if you aren't running free groups, I would encourage you to test it out. One thing that I will say is that throughout 2016, I created one group and I kept adding to that group. Month after month, challengers came to me and invested in me from that group. So as it grew over time, people were watching what I was doing on my personal page or watching what I was doing on One Fit Fighter. And so even though they were just at the time, they weren't invested, they were just checking it out, over time it made a difference. So the events are really easy to run, and Melanie's tutorial covered basically how it works, but I'll be honest with you, I do really, really well when my events, and I'll just show you the one that's coming up, and don't click going on mine because I don't want you to get confused, but I actually only let people who aren't working with coaches into my group. So I don't open it up to everybody because then they get really confused. And it really is hard for me to track all of that. So I'm just going to show you what I do. So, all right, so here's my event, right? So at this point, I posted this yesterday, and I went to a website called 123rf.com. And that site offers stock photos that you can buy credits for. Every time I run an event, I do better when I have stock photos instead of Canva pretty images. I don't know if that has just kind of gone by the wayside. I don't know if people just do it so often that it doesn't stand out, but I keep the information that I'm sharing invitations with as stock as possible, but within the details of my event, I get personal. All right. So I just made this. I went over to Canva, and I'll just show you my Canva. It's a mess, but I use Canva for everything. Um, so when I go into Canva, I create my images, and everything I do for my images, I just overlap it. So it's almost thematic. So here's a couple of examples for you. So this is the image I used to actually promote what my event is. She is real, she is relatable, and she is somebody that people can connect with. I created this image, and a lot of people really were receptive to it. So that's how I got a lot of people over to my event, was advertising with that. And the advertisement was really simple. It just basically said, free 5-day crunches and munches workout, no sign up required, no email needed, click the link to join, is basically all it said. Really, really simple, right? Nothing fancy. Okay, and then the other thing I did was I create for the 5 days of my workouts an image where they actually do their workout. So this is thematic to what I had on my event. This really wasn't a call about free events, but I just thought I would share that because I'm sure you guys were wondering when you saw that. So this is what they do for a workout on any given day. And so it's 5 days. So each day I post this first thing in the morning and they do their workout. And then the munches, of course, are some of my favorite recipes that I have on my blog. All right. So then, okay. So I have then in my event, I create my details for what they need to do to be able to join. So I give them all the information, but I go back to, you have to like my page, number one. And number two, there's going to be a link that will be set up for the private group. And so I asked them to do those things, and I asked them to invite a couple friends as well. So that's what I do first. I put the banner in, and then I literally copy and paste the same thing every month to my free group, but I edit the dates. That's the only thing I change, and like the workout, what the workout is. So that's all I change. And so then what I see is I click on the people who are interested and the people who are going, and I just start messaging them. I send friend requests. I say, hey, I'm so excited that you are going to be in our free group. What are some of the goals that you're looking to achieve? Or, hey, I noticed that you're headed over to the Munches and Crunches group. Tell me a little bit about yourself. So I really start that forming connection with them while I know that they're kind of figuring out if they want to invest time in this free group. So I take some time each day, and that's my invites for the day. Just going through this free group that I've offered, I have 77, or actually more than that, I have 77 potential people who are interested, and I'm messaging them, I'm connecting with them, I'm forming them. I'm starting that relationship before they even get into the free group, all right? So we don't stop there, all right? So what I'm doing now works just as much as if you are creating an event for a free group. It doesn't matter if your event is for a free group or a challenge group. You are still going to follow this same format. One of the biggest mistakes that I see coaches make is they create the event and then they run away. So you can't do that, right? You need to make sure that you are staying connected to the people that are interested. You are basically creating a platform where the audience might be smaller, but they're going to see what you're saying. They're going to see what you have to offer. So I simply every day make an effort to get into these groups and to talk to people and to see their comments and learn more about what they want. So I started this yesterday, and yesterday I didn't send out that many invitations. I sent out a link and people were joining and they were inviting people. So clicked, it was simple. Like the image that I had for the ad, I used here as well. And then last night, again, I talked a little bit about me. I talked a little bit about the way I run things. I had an old photo in Canva. I put free 5-day group, Munches and Crunches, done. And then this morning, I want people to know that I have more to offer than just a crunches workout. So I gave them some recipes. You can do the same thing for your challenge group. I gave them a little bit of information about, check this out. This is a great way for you to get some new recipes. And then I asked people to share the word. I reminded them that I need you to share this event. Can you tag some of your friends, or can you share this event to your wall? It sounds repetitive when you keep doing it, but somebody somewhere, it's gonna stick. And that is what we're going for. We're not going for like hundreds of people attending our event. We're going for the quality of the right person to attend the event. So hold on, let me go back to my chat section real quick. All right, so you got the stock photo site mentioned, the picture of the girl. Yes, so the stock photo is from 123rf.com. So you create the event, but then you make a group. Yes, so I still run my free groups on Facebook, my challenge groups though. I just ran my last one right now. I won't go back to Facebook for challenge groups. It is really easy for you guys to be tracking now on the challenge tracker app. And if you really feel like going live, you just upload a video to YouTube and then you share it on that, on the app. That's what I've been doing successfully. I find it's easier to email and connect with people and actually see how good they are about checking in. I feel like less people fall through the cracks with it. Okay, it's 123rf.com. No, second one that Stephanie said. Yep, 123. RF, like the letter R and then the letter F. Yep, so I use those stock photos. All right. Okay, so I think I'm good so far. So same thing applies for your challenge group. So this is day 3 or day 2 that I've run this event. I'll post in here about 2 times a day. So then let's go back to this image and let me share with you guys what I actually post in an event every day, okay? So number 1, you're going to set up your public event. This is the video that Melanie shared with you guys. Step 2, you're going to invite to the event. If you have an event, and I'm going to show you this cool little trick. When you click invite friends on here, you can go back to events I've hosted, my groups, and anything else, like my groups, the whole 30 accountability group events I've hosted. Well, this was a free 5-day lake burn. So all those people who attended that event might be interested in this event. So I'm going to click select all and I'm going to send the invite. Easy way. Now it doesn't do this for every group or every event you've ever hosted, but I find it like to be helpful. So I just sent out 76 invitations today, just now for this event based on the people that had attended another event. Easy enough, right? And you can do that with any event. Okay, so back to our challenge group invitations. So we set up the group, we've invited to the group. You might invite current challengers. Maybe you give a current challenger giveaway for anyone who brings 10 friends to the event. Step 3 is creating a schedule for posting. And this is what this is how I sort of schedule it for the most part. Okay, so day 1, who you are. You have the option of going live. I didn't yesterday. I'm probably going to do that a little bit today. Go live in your event page. Talk about what the group is, why you're doing the group, what excites you about running this type of group. Maybe share about your challenges, things that you've overcome, why you're a coach, whatever it might be. Number 2, facts about your group. So maybe this is a teaser of a recipe that you give to your challengers, or it is just little facts about what you do differently. Maybe you have a wacky Wednesday and everybody in there wears the most loud pants they can during their workout and you choose a winner. I have a what is a challenge group video that I just created earlier this month. Actually, another coach from another group had given me the idea. And so I literally took that video and I created a what a challenge group is and why you're really getting an amazing deal with the All Access Pass. If you don't have that, I would suggest the Carl Deichler video where he's talking about the All Access Pass. I think he does a great job of really helping people understand the value of what they can have or what the All Access Pass does. Day 3, I'll give a transformation of some sort. I'll give a challenger transformation, a testimonial of some sort. Who is a challenge group for? An opportunity for me to go live and to talk about, why people join challenge groups. What makes challenge groups different from a gym? What makes my challenge groups different? Or, what maybe there was somebody who really had an aha moment and I shared their story of a challenge group. At one event, I actually lived near the girl who had completed my Country Heat Challenge group, and she actually came over and I interviewed her live right in the page. So if you have a past challenger that you could do that with, you could also set up a Zoom call and literally turn your phone so it's facing the Zoom, and you could interview them live. Day 4, I do an objection post. Why? Because people are maybe convincing themselves that they don't need to spend the money on Shakeology, that they're going to figure it out on their own. And you kind of know those objections are coming because people are thinking about it. So maybe I'll do an objection post of some sort and a live tutorial of the app of some way. So I might go live on the page and say, hey guys, just wanted to share how this all works, how to use your phone, like when you use the app, and actually give them like the information for it. Day 5, I talk about Shakeology, what it really is. And then I give another transformation or a testimonial of some sort. Day 6, it's decision day. You have got to decide if this is a group for you or not. Now remember, if somebody says no, it's always a not right now. You don't cross off their name for good. You just say, hey, if it's not for you right now, can I check back in with you in a month? Is that okay? And then day 7, something motivational, set yourself up for success. So while all of this is going on in your event page, there's nothing wrong with also doing a post that's similar to, or even the same post if you're crunched for time, on your personal page or on your like page. So you're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You're getting it for the event page, the people who are just seeing the event, especially if you have a like page and you're running an event. I'll often do the same post on my personal page as well. So you're putting all this information together, but you have to make sure you're getting those jabs out there. So remember, jabs are just that. Jabs are things that make you think about the objections. Jabs are things that make you think about how can I be relatable. Jabs are things that are getting people's wheels turning without necessarily calling them directly to action. That's why you have the event. The event is your call to action. So I just put a couple of posts up. I just threw some together, but this one was a Shakeology claim. I talked about I am not making any claims because I am straight up. I am not going to make any claims. I let it know. But I do call it a crazy, uncanny coincidence. And I talked about side effects, and I talk about Shakeology, and I talk about how it's improved my overall health. The second one I have was an invitation to my challenge group, because I talk about being that girl who has struggled with those things. Still a post I can use in my event, still a post I can use on my personal page. And then, of course, a transformation. I do mine on Wednesday. I do work for it Wednesdays, and I featured a coach in our organization who in a year has lost 55 pounds. Isn't that amazing, though? I'm so proud of her. This is Jonna Carrick. She's on our team. So I shared her transformation, but I would also share that same thing in my event. All right, so I think I covered everything regarding that. We know that we're posting. We know that we are creating content that is purposeful. Our idea is to post with purpose. It's not to slap a post up there and fingers crossed somebody likes it, somebody comments on it, or that really slim chance that 1 out of 99 will come to you and say, what do you have to offer? Our job is to go out there, but it's to plant the seed. That's what your event needs to be doing. Whether it's a free event or a challenge group, a sneak peek, it doesn't matter. And I think it was Farron last night who was talking on The Surge about how she watched Mel for months, guys, and she never commented, she never said anything, but she was watching all the time. We have people in our own lives who are watching what we're doing, who are inspired by our transformations, who literally are scared to death to ask you because they are so afraid of failing. So we need to make sure we're putting the opportunity out there for people, but we are courageously going out there and having the conversations with them. True story. If you are looking at Facebook and you are noticing somebody pop up in your timeline who has not been very present in your timeline, who maybe has never liked a post, never commented, maybe it's someone you haven't talked to since high school, the reason they're popping up in your timeline is because they're watching what you're doing. And I guarantee you, if you message them, they might want to have a conversation with you about what they're doing, but they're too scared to come to you. And we are the ones that have to have the conversation with them. So you're putting yourself in a position of being able to start conversations with people. You're putting yourself in a position where you're saying, yep, I believe in my coaching ability. I believe in these products. I believe that accountability matters. You know that. And now your posts need to back that up. Here's my call to action for you, and I will gladly take any time you need to answer questions. But my call to action to you is simple. Create your outline for your content. Figure out how to create at least 9 to 10 posts about what you have to offer using that outlining system. And I will put this document in the page. But you will be able to then pull that information and you have your posts already basically created. All right, let me talk about the challenge tracker app. All right, let me talk about a transformation. If you're new as a coach and you don't personally have a customer who has results yet, or maybe they're too shy to give you their transformation, if you're in a challenge group, chances are that you have been exposed to some type of transformation, your own transformation. Somebody on your team, in your coach page, is there a transformation that you can use consistently to share that message? And then again, I can't tell you enough, the tools, talking about the tools that we have to offer. You cannot back down from Shakeology. This is the source of your residual income, and it is okay to say, I really want to make an income doing this. That's why we're all here, right? As long as we say it is not okay to make an income unless we're making an impact. And the only way we know how to make an impact on people is if we align them to the tools that we know how to use. Does that make sense? And if anyone's in here, like a fitness or a nutritionist, or you've got like the slight edge over me, because I really don't have that skill, but I do have the tools. All right. So keep that in the back of your head. I cannot be my best as a coach unless I'm offering the products that I know work. And that's just you have to stand so firm on that and be like, yeah, I know Shakeology works. Yeah, I know it's $4 a day. I'm not selling some magical powder. Like, I am selling like legit stuff that's going to change somebody's life. Okay. No quick fixes. This isn't about a diet. This is about changing someone's life. Simple. So let's line it up. Events. We're going to back it up with evidence that we put on our own timelines or our like pages. And then we're going to back up our evidence on our events pages. We can do this. So you guys, I'm turning it over to you. You guys have any questions for me? And please don't be shy. Please. No one. Are we on a short lunch break? You guys have no questions.
I have one.
Hi, Britt.
Hi. So whenever you're creating your events, I know, do you have 2 like pages now?
The Katie Ursta one, I have too many. I have Katie Ursta, which is going to be associated with Every Sweat Matters.
Okay.
And then I have One Fit Fighter that's all Beachbody.
Now, do you think it's beneficial to create like 2 events?
Why?
One because
no, I know what you're going to ask. No, I don't. Can I tell you why? That's a really, really good question. So if you have a like page and a personal page, so you have both, create it on your like page and then become a co-host as your name. So for me, it was One Fit Fighter was the host, and then was the co-host.
How do you make yourself a co-host? Can you?
Yeah, it's the last option. Like when you're setting up the event and it's like tickets, website, all that stuff. At the very bottom, it's like co-hosts.
Okay.
You can actually tag whoever your co-hosts are.
Okay.
I don't know if you can do that on your personal page. I actually have never done it that way. Do you,
okay.
Julia? You're shaking your head, but I wasn't sure if you knew or not. I don't think you can. I think you on your like page, I know on your like page you can, but I don't think you can do it from vice versa. And the other thing that I do is if you are running a legitimate like page and you're getting into like the ads and how all of that works, I do boost my events for like $20 and I get a really good return on that investment. So
Now,
I get a lot of new names.
I've played around with the boosting lately, and my free group one was really good. My challenge group one, I got like no response.
My free groups I do. I don't do it for my challenge groups because let me tell you, once I have my free event started, the people that I first invite to my challenge group event are my free group participants. So there's a whole pool of people.
Now, whenever you're trying to build the audience for your boost post or for your, boosting your event, I've like tried it a bunch of different times and I haven't found like the right one. Is there like
a target? That's a totally different call for like a different thing.
Okay.
Honestly, what I would suggest to you is my first suggestion would be to actually invite people who have participated in another free group that you've run. So if you go back to events that you've run in the past, your first invitations should be to those who have been in a free event with you before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Do you guys have any other questions? So there's the information that you have over the last 2 days between the 2 calls that Melanie did, this call, and then the thing I did yesterday about your Post-it notes. You really do have enough information to kill your challenge group coming up. So just if you guys could comment for me in the chat section, can you guys tell me when is your next challenge group? Like the 20th or the 13th. So I can give you guys 27, 27, 27. Okay, 13. Brittany, so most of you guys are the 20. Okay. So I'll just give you guys my lineup. If you're the 27th, I would almost suggest running a free group on the 20th, advertising for your free group first, starting the week of the 13th. So right now for me, I'll give you my example. So it's the 6th. I just started a challenge group today, and I'm going to be talking about what they're doing in there. I'm going to be talking about all that. But for the most part, I'm advertising the free group this week because my free group starts on the 13th. And then the whole week of the 13th, I will start advertising again for my next challenge group. So the people who are in my free group are going to see what I'm doing because they've now connected with me in the free group. If you're doing this the 27th, you're like 1 week behind me, which is cool because you can kind of privately creep on my page and see what I'm doing and be like, I'm watching you and see what I'm doing. And then you can basically like just find your own system to duplicate that. If you're starting your next challenge group on the 13th, you can run an event for what is a challenge group this week. You could do a live sneak peek into a challenge group. We don't have to do that just for coaching. We can do that for challenge groups too. You could do that this whole week. But the event is just giving you the opportunity to reach a newer network of people as long as you're consistently posting in it and you're consistently sharing it. And being unique, being yourself in those groups and letting that shine. 13th. Yeah. If you're doing it the 13th, I would probably create an event for what is a challenge group. And even if you go into any coach's page and you click on their name, like on their banner, and you click events, you can click past events if they do them on their personal page. Now, I think Melanie does a lot of her business stuff on her personal page. I'm not really sure. I think she did mention that. But it's kind of like, where's your bigger audience? What do you have more of? Okay. Yeah. You should be able to pull mine up unless I delete them. Some of them I do delete. But yep, you should. So look at my content and say, all right, how can I make this my own? What kind of feedback? What are some things that she's saying? What are some things that she's doing? Now, don't get caught in the comparison trap. Just use it to say, how can I do this, but make it my own? Don't duplicate it. Don't duplicate the person, like duplicate the process. Yep, the pools work really well. Yep. the polls, like if you do polls, like even for, I've done polls where I talk to people about like what kind of free group they want. Or I've done polls where I've talked about like, what are their biggest struggles with weight loss and like listed some of them out. So you could do that too. Awesome. So are your wheels turning a little bit? So is this helping? It's a very quiet group. Cool. All right. Do you guys have any other questions for me? So Marcy, or challenge. So what is a challenge group? Okay. So do an event this week for sneak peek for what is a challenge group, then start either a free group or challenge. If you're doing a sneak peek into what is a challenge group, you would start a challenge group on the 13th. If you're doing a free group on the 13th, you would just do an event for a free group. And then you take all those people and you post the link in there and you give them the link to the closed group. Yeah, good. Glad that helped. Cool. So much good information, guys, the last couple of days. I'll tell you what, when I started just for organizational sake, doing those Post-it notes, it really, really helped me. So those of you guys who have a lot on your plates, you have a lot going on, really manage yourself by saying, I'm just going to do the basics. And the basics for posting is getting down to what I need to say about the products and the programs and what I have to offer. So awesome. All right. Well, I will let you go. It is about 12:45 and you guys finished even a little bit early, but I really want to thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your busy afternoons to talk. So if you think of anything, just tag me in a post and I'll leave this document. It's nothing fancy in the group for you guys too. All right. All right, guys. Have a great day. See ya.